California. I was born in Martinez, which is up by Oakland, that area. But I think
Boom,
when I was about three, we
you
moved
can
to
plug this in.
Fresno. So I've been in Fresno, um, and then we moved to the Bay Area, I think when I was about 12. And so I still live, right now, I live back in Sacramento. I
Uh-huh.
moved up back here quite a few years ago.
And could you tell us your involvement with reparations in California, please?
Yeah, I we got involved with the group here actually with it's through CJAC, which is a spinoff of ADOS, which the original group. We've done things with going to the Capitol, passing the word around, and basically what we're having to do, because there's been some different issues, but is trying to teach, get everyone, first of all, get your DNA done, learn about your heritage, learn about who and what you are. And the main message is that we're not asking for a handout. We're just asking for repair. Uh, Giving grants, giving this, that's not reparation. California has admitted to all the damages. They admitted for taking from the land, property. They've admitted, even though it wasn't supposed to be a slave state, but they have admitted all these things, but we haven't got the cash yet. And so we're going through different representatives, and there's been a lot of different things going on. But the bottom line is that what we try to say is, yes, we want reparation to repair ourselves, but we have to repair our own selves. We got to teach our children and our family and our relatives is that this is what you need to do to build a legacy for yourself. Don't expect for anyone else to do it. We've got to do this ourselves. We got to stop the killing among ourselves, because what they do has planted. We know about the drugs, the crime, and they just sit back, the powers to be, and allow us to destroy each other. We have to stop that. That's the main message. And start to repair and build our own, starting with yourself, then with your family, and each one reach one and teach one. That's what we're trying to do.
Thank you, Clarice. Anybody have any questions for her about reparations? Anything on that? Okay, let's go to Evelyn.
Hello, um, my name is Evelyn Floyd, and I live in San Jose, California. I was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma,
Mm.
and my parents were, as far back as I can remember, of our family history, they're from Indian Springs, Georgia. My great grandparents, and my great grandparents moved to um, Texas and then to Oklahoma. Some of the, like, I know lots of the older history, but I don't know any of the younger generation, the, and I'm interested in getting my DNA did so that I can find out even more information to pass on to the younger generation. But the younger generation is reaching out to me now to get information on the older generation. They're
Yeah.
asking me to identify pictures of their grandparents and their, other family members that they have heard about, but they don't know anything about them. So I've been trying to identify pictures they put on the, uh, and we know a lot about our family history because back in the 80s, we started going to family reunions uh, in Georgia and Texas and different places. And out of the basic 19 families, which we're on one line, out of the basic, usually it wasn't any more than five uh, Newton families that had actually gathered there. So there were a lot of family members that still didn't get together. That's just on the maternal side. Now, on my father's side, I know of some of the great aunts on that side, but I haven't gotten as involved on the father's side as I have with the maternal on the mother's side. But I'm very interested in this program and in getting the DNA did and listening at the people that have spoken and how they're getting into this. And so it's really interesting to me. And I appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much. Did did Clarice get you give you a kid yet, or what's the status?
No, not yet. She was telling me she was going to see about doing that because I'm 86 years old, but I'll still be around for a while.
Yeah, that's a blessing. Uh, uh, Clarice, do you need any help with that? Getting her a kid?
Yeah, actually, she was the person that you were going to give her a kit, and I said, "Well, give it to me." You said, "Well, let me get talk with her," and I was trying to get her to come on this show first. But yeah, I can work with that too.
Did you have one a kid?
I don't have one. I gave mine to Marvell. And by the way, he said he won't be on today, but he's going to call you. So the one that I did have, I gave it. I had already given that away.
Okay, I just want to. So I believe in crossing the T's and dotting the I's.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
So let me.
You take advantage of the Mother's Day sale, Jerry.
This is your kid, Evan.
Okay.
I'll work it out. I'll donate a kit to you.
Oh, okay. Very
I'll
appreciated.
also help you manage your results.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. How about that, Clarice? As a token from
That's good.
Thank you.
It's been a couple of months, and I guess I wasn't going to bring it up again, but she is the person I've been trying to get on to speak with you before we went to this step. But I appreciate that.
Okay, I just want I'll get you off the hook, Clarice. That's my
Thank you.
that's my beloved friend Clarice. I got you, Evelyn. So we'll work out the details on this, okay?
Okay.
All right. As a matter of fact, it'd be it'd be where you're at this week.
Oh, okay.
I'll mail it to you this week.
I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll work out the details, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so how are we doing so far, everyone? How are we doing so far?
Great. A lot of good information.
Y-
Yeah, doing great.
Wonderful. It's really been informative to me, just getting started on this.
Uh, we have a new person who just joined in, Cleo. Can you hear me? Cleo? Or Davenport? That's it. That's Davenport. Is Davenport phone? No, I got David. Uh, Devon's. I got him. Devon's. I got him. What about Cleo's? Cleo's iPad. Cleo, can you hear us? Okay, so we'll wait. We'll wait until it shows that they're on they just joined.
Wait, okay. Did you call my name?
Yeah, I did, but like it was I meant to call on Cleo.
Okay, okay.
So we're good. And so this is what we do too. And to answer your question, uh, Denise, I didn't get it. I didn't get one from Mother's Day, but I had some because I gave away 8 kits at Double R's reparations event at his barbershop up in Temecula. I spoke on uh, genealogy and reconstructing your family, and I took 8 kits up there, and there's people who participated that I shared the kits with them. I shared 6 in the meeting, but after the meeting they bum rushed me, and I had another couple, so I gave them those, and I helped them activate the kits, and then a couple of them I didn't have kids. I took six up, and 8 people wanted, so I wanted kids. So I mailed the other 2 to the other people who wanted them, and then they went through the process, and so we got them all uh, activated, and they have an account with Ancestry, and they're waiting for their results.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to try to do something similar for our family reunion next year.
Okay.
Typically, that one line of the family reunion, we typically have anywhere from 300 to 400 people attending. So I'm not going to have that many kits. I may just do 10.
That's
But
great.
yeah, at least that will be a start, I think.
Well, it's a process, it's a responsibility, but I, I believe in helping and reaching out, and you see the enthusiasm that people have, knowing that they're going to find themselves, reconstruct their family.
Mm-hmm.
We reconstruct our family through DNA. After the Civil War, there was a reconstruction period in America. It was bitter from the North and the South, and the country had a 12-year period of reconstruction. Am I right about that, Larry? Something like that, reconstruction period for them? After the Civil War, the reconstruction, how long it took to reconstruction, there's
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Reconstruction, April 1st of 1877, the Union had to leave the South. So that gives you an idea.
how long it was. From
Reconstruction.
1865 to 1867. About
Roughly, yeah. Well, I know for a fact the Union Army had to be out of the South by April 1st of 1877. That was the end.
and so my message is Reconstruction in the United States was after 1877. But for us, we are still reconstructing our family. We are still reconstructing our family. And this is the main tool that I use to reconstruct my family is DNA. And it's a continuous process. There's some things, some atrocities that, and you mentioned, Clarice mentioned it, there were some atrocities that were so horrible. The perpetrators never knew that they would that it would come to light, that the truth would come out. The truth can't be hidden. And now through DNA, we are learning who did these atrocities to our family, and we are able to reconstruct our family members instead of being treated like cattle and sheep and livestock. But they sure kept good records on us because that had their wealth was determined by their possessions, and we were considered possessions, not people. And they kept real documents, and so we have those documents now. They never thought that we'd be in this process. They thought it would be forever slavery, and but the truth came out, and now through DNA we are reconstructing our families. And my goodness, it's tough not to be angry. It's tough not to be mad by what was done to our ancestors. And now what we're doing now, we're able to fly on planes, drive these cars, and have these freedoms. It's not free. It wasn't free. And so what we do now is going to impact, like Evelyn said, and we all, ones who are here, Denise, Clarice, our descendants. I'm doing this for my descendants and my ancestors. And so So we are documented. We have records now. The truth can't be hidden. It can only be revealed. So with that, I want to go into I'm going to give you a couple of the agenda. Uh, does somebody have, one of the first things that when we talked about the ancestors, we talk about find a grave. Find a grave. This is one of the tools that we use to connect with our family. It is free.
Hey, are you there?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Emily, I can hear in the background.
Oh, okay.
Mute.
Okay, I'll have her do that. Could you have her come in and mute the background? Okay.
One of the tools that there's tools for research that you can use that are free, but you got to put in the time. One of them is find a grave. What happens is a lot of our information is they wanted it to be buried and forgotten, but now it's one of our most useful tools in reconstructing our family, because people across the country have went and visited different cemeteries across the country, Black cemeteries, white cemeteries, and they've uploaded information.
Can you mute the background?
And they've uploaded monuments, markers, and they have put it on this here one platform that's called Find a Grave. And you can go in to this Find a Grave and you can search cemeteries, you can search by name, and communities, they live together, and when they pass, they were buried in the same areas and in some of the same cemeteries in the same area. And I can attest to that because that's how it was for my family in Nebraska. My mother's side of the family was South Omaha, and they reside in South Omaha, and when they passed away, they were buried in the cemetery in South Omaha, Graceland. So that's where the majority of my relatives are, in Graceland Cemetery. My father's was on the north side, and they were buried in Forest Lawn Cemetery on the North Omaha side. And you all know it's not a myth. These cemeteries, a lot of them had a black section and they had a white section. Can anybody comment on that? What you know about that?
Yeah, I can speak to that, Jerry, because one of my responsibilities is that of a team lead for our African American cemeteries. And we have a lot more that are what they're actually graveyards because they were associated with our churches. But yes, we do have a lot of cemeteries throughout the country that we are documenting and keeping track of the family members that were laid to rest there. Unfortunately, in places like the state of Florida, or even in the state of Georgia, there are situations where cemeteries have been the victims of development. Um, Cities that have been growing have created shopping centers and schools and things of that nature, and have paved over some of those ancestors that are buried there. I was just reading about a case in South Carolina where it was paved over for the development of a Catholic diocese. And they built a high school and paved it over with a parking lot. So without different restoration groups throughout various states, bringing this up to their cities and making sure that The information is documented, who was interred there and things of that nature, we'd really be at a loss for a lot of our ancestors.
Thank you for saying that.
There's a place out in New York City.
Go
It's
ahead.
called African American Burial, African Burial, and it's just a small little square.
Monument.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
But it's, and it lists the names of the people, but you know that there's more people than that. It's very sad.
Yeah.
That houses have been put on top of the graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think of these 50 states, I don't think there's one that can say we haven't had that situation. I think they've got that situation in every state where there's been some so-called progress, quote unquote, that has happened in each of these major cities where they've just overlaid the cemeteries, the black burial grounds, because these were primarily burial grounds for African Americans and Indians. I'm gonna throw Native Americans in there too, because it's been occurring for Native Americans as well.
Okay.
But one other thing about Find a Grave, Jerry, I want to caution people, use that as a hint, and not as a direct source, because some of that information is added by individuals who have not done any research. They're just basically going on hearsay. They don't have a death certificate. They don't have any official document that says that's where the family member was interred. Other situations, they could have been buried in one place and then reinterred to another place. So you have to be very, very careful when you're looking at those Find a Grave records. Same thing with billion graves. You have to be very careful when you're looking at those records and do your due diligence and just ask more questions and follow up and see if there's other documentation to support that is where they are buried.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions on Find a Grave? Because I'm going to show you an example of it. Any questions? I have a question. Evelyn, where are your family members? What cemetery are they buried in? Uh-oh, we had her muted, Clarice. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. Hold up, Evelyn. Let me just go on and show my exhibit, everyone.
I have a lot of Haney and Sulphur Springs.
Pardon me?
Sulphur Springs.
Okay. Well,
yeah. Put in the name.
Let me do this. Can you see this Find a Grave exhibit here?
Yep.
Okay. Francis, do you have a cemetery or a name of someone that had one of your relatives?
RG, ARGIE, Nash.
Okay. What is it?
ARGIE, Nash.
And what location?
Sulphur Springs.
Spell that.
SULPHER.
Is that it? SUL or what is it?
Uh-huh.
You are.
How do you spell it?
SULPHER.
Oh, yeah.
Sulphur
Springs.
Uh, what state?
Texas.
I think sulfur is spelled Phur.
It could be.
Yeah, it's UR.
There it is. Sulphur Springs, Rusk County, or Hopkins County?
Probably Hopkins County.
What does it
Because
say?
Amy and it's
You got an idea about what year?
hmm?
You have an idea what year, or would I pass on that?
No.
Okay, let's
There,
just search.
there's a bunch of Nashes there.
Well, here about is this R.G. Nash? Do you know that R.G. Nash right here?
Yeah, that's my grandfather.
Okay,
And I went to the gravesite.
okay. Let me do this. Now, can you see this, everyone?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, it has the information. Now, here's where we're at. We're here in all these different cities, but now this ancestor of ours, we're able to go to their memorial and visit them. How significant is that?
You know, it was very significant. I took as many pictures, if I can find it, of all the graves.
Well, the key is this. This is what we have now, Evelyn. We have the technology now to sit where we're at, the
Yes.
comfort of our home, and go anywhere. We fly the planes to get to the location. Then we get a helicopter to hover over it, get out of the helicopter, walk around, get back on the helicopter, get on the planes, and come back. We have that kind of technology. Now let's take a look at her grandfather. Look at that. He passed at the age of 34, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Hopkins County. But look at this. And find a grave. If you look at all these people, you have Alex,
Mm-hmm.
Estelle, and look, all of his brothers and sisters are here. You see that? It has all their information. So that's the value of having Find a Grave. We never would have known all that information if we didn't go to his memorial. And what happens is um, different people add information to this memorial. And what happens over here, let me see, on his memorial, look at this. This photo was added by a CR. And these, it has the plot, the date of the birth, death, where we're at, and it gives the information. And it gives a cemetery. It's called East Caney Cemetery.
Yes.
So it gives us that. And then when you come down here, I'll show you this. This person who put this information, who added information to this memorial, is created by CC, and it was added in 2013. You can contact that person. If that's not one of your relatives, you can contact that person and you can have your name put and change or add additional information to this memorial. And because on my great grand on my grandfather, they had his name, but it had the wrong information. So that's sort of disheartening. So I contacted this person and said, no, you have the wrong information. Good. Thank you for, you have the marker, but you have the wrong information. And I was able to put the correct information on my grandfather's memorial. And that's what I'm telling you, the things that are available to you. And you can also put flowers, you can put memorials, and they have additional information. Like you see, you never would have known all these different people. Look at how many different people you have there.
I have that information.
Yeah, but somebody that didn't, do you understand what I'm saying,
Yes,
Francis?
yes, yes.
From find the grave. So use that as one of your tools of what I want to share with you. That's an example right there. And thank you for sharing that. And who added? Cece added this. This is the birth certificate and the death certificate.
You know, one of my dad's cousins did a lot of work. There's a memorial wall in East Caney with all the people that were in the military as well.
Okay. And so that's what I wanted to share with you. And with Find the Grave, you can come back. Any one of you, you can pull this, get you an account, and I suggest you do this. Get a Find the Grave account. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
And then with this, you can ask questions. You can just search names. Uh, like I do this. I'll say Moss right here. I won't use all my names. Mine. I'm just going to do something simple. Moss. Um, Location. I'm going to say Oklahoma. Oklahoma right there. And I'm not going to put an exact. Oh, I am going to put his name down. David. D-A-V. Let's see if we can get this. Okay, this is a David Moss. This isn't mine, but this isn't my memorial. But that's an example. You might get someone that has the same name, but you see the middle name is different. So don't get tied up on the names. Like Denise is saying, you got to have more research. You got to verify the information. Could you elaborate on that a little bit more, Denise?
Yeah, and I think R.G. Nash's profile was a perfect example of one that's done exactly correct. But more often than not, you're going to come across profiles that don't have all that information that was there for RG's. That was a great one to start out with to show how it's supposed to look and how you can really use it. But then if you had clicked on like the one of those David Nash's, you probably would have seen something totally different and less informative.
Yeah, but that was helpful.
Yeah, that was an excellent example. And also as members, or you can request photos. As members, you can also take pictures if you're into going to cemeteries and taking pictures. Like if you go to your family cemetery and you find gravestones of some of your family members, you can also upload those photos into Find a Grave as a member, and that doesn't cost you anything. You can sponsor um, different memorials as well.
Okay. Okay. Here he is. So I did a search for my grandfather, and here it is. Here he is. I'm gonna show you what I've done. Now, can you see this memorial, everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on this one, it had another name, and it had the wrong information here. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when I saw that, I contacted Find a Grave, it, and this person, I said, "Look, you got the right name, but your information is incorrect." And that person has to, and I showed them more accurate records, and so they gave that memorial over, turned it over to me, and so now now I have information that I put on this for my grandfather, and the information that I have is verifiable now. That means something to me, and so there he is. And you can see there it is, photo by me, by Jerry Moss.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put a photo in there. And this is my grandma, his wife, um, Ethelyn Burnell. There she is. I added that. And then my friend Betty, she's the one that helped me. My cousin Freddie, Betty Cass, she's a Caucasian. She helped me with, you can leave flowers. You can plant a memorial tree. And you can see
Mm-hmm.
this left by Jerry and the rest. And so that's what I'm telling you. More information about him. And this is his marker right there. And I was able to actually add, a picture of him. So I'm just sharing with you. This is what's available with Find the Grave. Does anyone have any questions on Find the Grave? What have you um, what have you learned, and why do you think I took time to share that with you? Find a grave. Anyone? What's the significance of Find a Grave from
It's
your?
another tool.
It's an important tool, isn't it?
It is. I think it gives you a lot of insight on who were the relatives. Because like with my cousins, we get to discover like how we're related, right? And our Gene, how you've seen all those people, those are my cousins' grandparents also. So
Yeah,
they had a lot of kids, right?
yeah,
So sometimes they'll say, oh, my grandmother was number 14. My grandmother was number 16. My grandmother was number 1. My grandmother was number 10. So then when you say that to them, they figure, oh, you know what? We really are relatives, and there is, a connection to us with this. So I think it bridges the family together. I'm trying to look for the pictures of that I took. When I went to East Caney and I took those pictures, the grave, the cemetery is in a place where there's no street names, right? It's just
Mm-hmm.
like
yeah.
13102 or 1301 or something like that. And so if you really don't know where you're going, or if you don't know what you're looking for, some of these places you're not going to find it because it's not like very well known, in some places.
That's
And
Well,
then,
that's another thing on Find a Grave that we kind of overlooked, but the coordinates, the
yeah,
GPS coordinates are on some of the graves. Of course, there are some that are missing, but they also have the GPS coordinates, so you can plug that into your phone, and that may help you find it too. Especially though in Texas, way out in the country. Come on.
yes, yes, and that's exactly where it is. Way
Uh-huh.
country, in the like almost the backwoods.
Yeah.
And also it helps you to locate the grave site a lot more easier,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a beautiful thing too.
Also, that I found that very interesting about the grave. But in our situation, the grave site was at the church in Indian Springs, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that would be on a registry or what, but they had the tombstones and everything in the back of the churchyard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be on Find a Grave as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and typically associated with the church.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have that too. And I was talking to like Larry um, on our branch, what we're related to. It's the Burnells in Stevens, Arkansas. The church is Mount Vernon. In
Mm-hmm.
Stevens, Arkansas, there's a church in Mount Vernon, and the back of it has the cemetery. The family,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of our family members are buried there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Now,
where a lot.
back in the day, those were considered graveyards rather than cemeteries.
Yes,
You know, white people had to make that distinction for some reason.
yeah,
But if they were associated with a black church and there was burial grounds behind it, that was considered the church's graveyard.
Oh,
and so here's another tool that you want to use in your research search. What I do, when I'm here at home, I go anywhere in the world using this app right here. Do you see what this is? It's called Google Earth. I, and it's free now. But Google Earth, I can put an address up here, right there, which says search. I'm gonna put this. I just had got the cemetery. I'm gonna put WYCHES and CAMI, comma, order, comma. Okay, here it is, Porter Wagner, Wagner, Oklahoma. See that? And not just, I hope it had the rest of it. And and I'm gonna do a search. And watch what this does. It's free now. The map goes like this, and it goes right to Porter. It'll get clear. So in this Google Earth, it takes you right to the location, and that's Porter. It could have took me right to the cemetery too. And then, like Francis, what you were saying, then you can look and see where it's at compared to this city or that city. And so it's in Porter, where my grandfather's buried at is in Porter, Oklahoma, and I can come out on my map and come on out some more. And here's Muskogee. There's Muskogee, and Porter is right up here. Redbird, and over here is uh, oh, Tulsa right here. And you know what happened with Tulsa, with and when they destroyed Tulsa, and they destroyed the cemeteries. And right now, there's people out there with uh, they're locating cemeteries. They're locating interned ancestors in areas that had been commercialized. They're finding people, and that's part of a project to uh, part of reparations, repairing what they've done when they destroyed Black Wall Street. That's the only that devastation in Tulsa. The folks used airplanes and bombed the city with airplanes. It was devastating. But Tulsa was they were a metropolis. They had more black millionaires in Tulsa than they had in Washington D.C. anywhere else. That they had their own government. Our people had their own government. They had their own oil wells. They had their own planes. They had more millionaires in Tulsa before it was destroyed than anywhere in the United States. Just so that you get a little history that you don't get unless you do your research. But the main thing is, this is give me a city where you're at. Say, what is? Are you in? Where are you at? Uh, Denise, what city?
Pickerington,
How do you spell that?
Pickerring.
Yeah. Wait. PIC.
Uh-huh. KER.
KER.
Uh-huh.
What else?
ING.
Uh-huh.
Come on, get those fingers working. You need some Tylenol?
I can pick. I got off on. That's right. Get on me now. PIC what?
You got PICKERING, and there it is, the second one in the list.
Okay. Ohio right there.
Uh-huh.
And watch what this map does. Search. You just put search and look what it does. You're in the plane, you're flying over, and there it is. In Ohio. It shows the city. That's your city, isn't it?
I think you're gonna have to get a little closer for me to be sure.
Okay.
I don't think it's that big.
Well here, pick.
Yeah, that looks about right.
There it is.
I see some of the main streets. It's only got like 3 or 4 main streets. Uh-huh.
But there it is right there. What are the main streets? East Columbus Street?
Yes, West Columbus. There's West Columbus. Yeah.
Okay. There's West Columbus right there too. And
Yeah.
there's East Columbus too.
Yeah.
Right by Victory Park.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the town park, Victory Park.
But I'm
not
just
too far from my house.
Yeah, well, this is what I wanted to let everyone know, that this is free too. It's called Google Earth. And then here's Columbus up here. You can see she lives there, and you can see here's Columbus right up there on up to the northwest.
Yeah.
Where she's at.
Yeah.
So that's one of the tools that I want to share with you. And I use that tool to go any city, any town. I use Google Earth and I use it and I can go look at the surroundings, where the properties are, where we were originally enslaved at, or any kind of information about a city and location. And the address, I can go right to where that address is. Sometimes I'll talk to a relative and they'll tell me where they're at, or give me an address, and I can tell them what is located by them. And I say, how did you know that? How can there's a Bank of America right there. Or there's a service station. What? How do you know that? That's what I use this tool. That's the technology. Google Earth, and it's free.
Hey, Jerry, what about Chat GPT?
Huh?
What about Chat GPT?
What about it?
All right, I'm gonna bring something new to you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your AI tool.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
Hold on.
Oh, I'll probably stop sharing.
Let me share. If I'm sharing a website, do I share the website URL?
Sure.
So whatever's on your screen, just push up the share.
Share. It just says photos, share camera, iCloud Drive or website URL. Okay, let me try this.
Now, what is this program? Tell us what it is before, as you're putting it together.
ChatGPT.com.
Huh?
ChatGPT.
What's
I-
what's what's
It's a,
what's
it's a
It's
program that allows you to look up information. It's an AI tool, because AI is coming in a big way,
correct?
right? And so this allows you, I just looked it up on my family. Let me see if I can show you guys what I see. Can you guys see that? The picture?
No, I just see a blank screen. We don't see anything on it.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Oh, okay. The server with the specific host name could not be found. Okay, let me try it again.
You jumped out here. You jumped out here like you had something.
I do have it on the other screen.
Come on, cuz.
Okay, I do have it, Jerry.
Yeah,
Hold,
for sure.
give me just one moment.
Take your time.
So ChatGPT is the AI, and it's coming in a big way, right? And it has a lot of information about everything, right? And so I use it for work every day. Okay, so
There it is. I see it.
yeah,
But you haven't entered your you gotten in yet.
I know. Okay, I'll just continue with Google. Okay, no, hold on. Sorry about this, you guys. Well, while you were talking, I was looking at ChatGPT, right? And so when I was looking at it, I put in my family name, the Nashes. And so with that, it gave me information about the family online and some pictures.
and while you're doing that, Francis, I'm going to use a word of caution there too,
Okay.
because basically it's artificial intelligence. So basically, when you're asking it to search, it's going out and it's searching the internet, everything and anything available on the internet, and
Yes.
it's doing it at a high speed. So that's great. But again, a word of caution, you're going to have to check and double check the information that it provides you, because AI is being used for a lot of things and it makes mistakes just like humans do.
Yes,
Okay.
it does. But I thought the information that it gave was pretty interesting. Okay, so now we're getting further. Jerry, is there a way I can share what I have? Let me see.
Are you displaying it on a particular tab on your computer, or are you on an
Yeah,
iPad?
I'm on my phone, right?
Oh,
So I'm trying to see how I could share it with you guys because I have it there. Let me see if it'll work this way.
I could I could put you down for a presentation at our next meeting. when you when you figure it out, you know. She jumped at that opportunity.
yeah, that's the latest and the greatest. And a lot of the younger generation is going
And she's
uh,
going. Now she's off
doing
the
the AI route, and it's a cheat without all the legwork. But again, that's why I say use caution, because it is pulling in a lot of information, but some of it may not be accurate
Yeah,
because
I
not
can
all
put
the
it in
information out there.
I can copy the link and put it in the chat.
Okay,
You
do
guys
that.
can see it.
And our
So what
next
I
meeting,
told,
in our next meeting, you can do a presentation on. By that time, we'll figure it out.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, just put
perfect.
the link in.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is being used. We also have Black Pearls of Genealogy. I know, Jerry, some of the Freedmen Bureau Friday meetings you've attended, you may have heard something about that.
Yeah, I've seen it
The,
with
yeah,
David.
yeah,
With
yeah,
David.
with David, yeah. And all of the pictures on that website have been generated through AI. He used Chat GPT-4 to create those pictures. So, and they look just like regular humans.
You know, this information that I found is pretty accurate on my father's family.
Oh,
Um,
good.
so it says the Nash family, and they've done a lot of work, right? Has a notable presence in Sulphur Spring, Texas, with deep roots in the community and a rich history spanning generations. Prominent members of the Nash family in Sulphur Springs, Olivia Ronald Nash, 1928 to 2001, a dedicated homemaker and active member of Morning Chapel Baptist Church. Olivia was deeply involved in the church activities, serving as a deaconess, secretary of the Lytle Circle, and an intercessory pastor, prayer warrior. She was married to Gladys Lee. A lot of the men in our family have women names for some reason. They were named after somebody my aunt was saying. Gladys Lee Nash. And together they had several children, including Clifton, Theron, Denise, Reverend Harold B., Reverend Rufus, Clarence, Aubrey Nash, as well as their daughter Patricia Nash and Latricia Moore. And then it goes on to talk about more family members. My grandfather's mentioned in here.
You know what? And it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
These are some of the things like Clarice. When we're talking about different tools that we want to use for uh, reparations, we want to use these tools to help. And Francis, when you have time, say if you're able to attend our next meeting, give a presentation on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll attend next week too.
You put it in the chat, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. And you know, even if, say, like you're looking for how to do something, because, for example, I wanted to start a transportation business, right? Um, you know, you can ask anything and it'll try to give you the best responses available, right? So it is really a good tool, even writing, you know, correspondence or, you know, putting together um, your family tree or whatever it is that you want to do. It has information in there. And the thing that's feeding it is that somebody, any question that you may have, somebody has had that question before and has asked the question.
Okay.
So that's the thing that's providing the feeds.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about it before we go into the next topic? Anything else, Francis?
It's coming in a big way, and just start using it, you know, every day. You know, Google searches are kind of like going to be a thing of the past. Um, you know, this is going to be the new way to find information on the internet.
I would beg to differ, but this is nothing for a debate. But you also have through Microsoft has Copilot, that is also an AI tool, and it does exactly the same thing. So you've got a number of tools out there that are doing the same thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of AI products, but I'm saying AI
Yep.
is the new
Yep.
wave of the future. Whatever
Yep.
site you're comfortable with, this is going to be the new way to find information.
Okay. There's another free, and I'm not advocating because it's just free, but it's some. We got to use all these tools when we make presentations to people who aren't familiar with what's out there, what's available. Um, it's important for us to experiment with them and be able to teach them. If you learn it, you got to be able to teach it. One of the platforms is WikiTree, and Denise is very involved in that. So Denise, could you give us a presentation on WikiTree, please? From
Yeah, I can.
a brief
I
one.
think I can give you a quick overview.
Yeah, please.
Let me see here.
And
If I
notice
can.
we have different members who have different experiences that can help you. That's why we share what we know. And Denise is very involved in this with the WikiTree, and she's going to give us some examples of it.
Yeah, I think the screen I'm showing is where I was trying to do a search on RG Nash to see if he was in that WikiTree, and he's not there. So we got to work on that, Francis. Get that Nash family in WikiTree. But
I agree. I'm just getting started, so yes, I definitely will. And I've been doing a lot of work on both sides of the. So yeah, I'll get it in there.
yeah, I have issues with losing my mouse for some reason. Here, we'll go to
So this is the home page.
no, this is just the search screen. And I was on the home page, and as soon as I get my mouse where I can find it, there we are.
Yeah.
I'll try to move to another screen. This is your home page. So when you first go to wikitree.com, this is what will come up for you. And as you can see, they pledge to be free forever. But with WikiTree, again, this is a global tree. By that, meaning that it is available to everyone in the universe, around the world. So we have project teams from around the world. We have project teams in Africa, project teams in Europe. And so if your family, if you are a descendant of someone who was owned by a slave master, we're also collecting that information, the plantations and things of that nature. So there's a lot of different things. If I can move some of these things out of the way. When you first log on to the main screen, you see we've got a YouTube video here. It's a very short video that talks to you about WikiTree and what WikiTree is. Gives you a real brief explanation. For myself, I'm gonna try to, it shows you different connections. So for example, like I said, this is around the world, and it looks like right now there was a drop in my connections because I had over 5,000. But people that I'm connected to, for example, US presidents. We've got profiles out there for the US presidents. And because this is a global tree, when I click on this, I should be able to see. Come on, any day now.
Did any of you see that the new pope has ancestors in Louisiana?
Yes, and I'm 19 degrees of separation from Pope Leo. Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about that. But so, for example, and this is a list of people that have been featured on WikiTree. Every week they feature different individuals. For example, the past few weeks they've been talking about all the different popes. But at this point, this is just a list of some of the people. So you see there's Franklin Roosevelt. These are all the presidents and how closely related or connected. I won't say related because these people I'm connected to, there's no blood relationship with these people. And unfortunately, you see at the very bottom, someone I would not want to see in my list, but at least if he's there, I'm as far away from him as possible. That's just my own
Don't
personal.
understand the degrees.
The degrees are the separation. So for example, if I click on I'll do John Quincy Adams. 19 degrees of separation from John Quincy Adams, and that's basically through several marriages. So when that comes up, it's showing that of course there's myself and my husband, his father, his father's brother, his aunt Ruth, and it just so happens that Ruth is a direct descendant of Madison Hemings. Madison was one of Sally Hemings' sons, but the Hemings were also related to the Jeffersons. So there's Martha Jefferson, and then Ellen Randolph, who is, her daughter, and then Thomas Coolidge, her son, the son of Ellen, Nora Coolidge, Frederick Sears, her husband. So you see, every time it changed colors, somebody got married. And then here we've got Frederick Sears, his sister Harriet Sears.
$10,000 in the market. Last year, I think $5,000 turned that into $100,000 just 9 months by doing this one simple trick. And then,
okay, so then John Adams, of course, was the husband of Francis, and then Charles Adams, his father, and then, of course, John Quincy Adams, the president, was Charles's father. So that's how I'm 19 degrees of separation from John Quincy Adams. So, and there's something like that for all the, people that we've done profiles on. It shows how I'm connected to them. If I'm connected to them, it'll show how many degrees of separation we are from those individuals. So, and this is actually one of my favorite parts of the tool. But they also have, we can do fan charts. We can do a lot of different charts that some of the other software packages do and things of that nature. But the key is to getting the profiles into WikiTree. So that's the first thing that we would want to do, is to get those profiles into WikiTree.
How do you get them in there?
There's
Do I upload my tree from Ancestry to WikiTree?
Yes, you can. I would not recommend doing a GEDCOM, but you can. You can create a GEDCOM, which is like it's all the data that would be contained, for example, in Ancestry for the tree that you have created. And then when you create that GEDCOM, that data file, you want to make it kind of small. I really would not suggest doing more than 2,000 individuals to bring over to WikiTree at a time if you've got a large one.
So you recommend you suggest doing it manually?
I would, because it would be a lot faster, quite honestly.
Okay.
I mean, just like, research has changed over time, so has transferring data from one program to another has changed over time.
It keeps it simple and more accurate, huh?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, and it makes it a lot easier.
Okay.
Yeah, my mouse is Not responding too well. I'm clicking on add.
No, you haven't been surprised. You're not a care in the world.
There we go. So you can click on add. So if I wanted to add a new person, here's the information you would enter. Now for a prefix, that's if they're like a deacon or an elder or a doctor or what else has
I
a
understand.
prefix?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you put in their first name at birth. So if you have a birth certificate, what's on their birth certificate? The challenge is with folks who were enslaved, you don't know what their last name at birth would have been. So for starters, you either put unknown or you put the slave master's name, because after emancipation, there's no guarantee that they kept their slave master's name. They may have gone by something else. So say, for example, you have R.G. Nash. The ancestors of R.G. Nash, were they enslaved? If so, was that slave owner's last name Nash, or was it something else? So those kind of things, again, that is based on the research, but you got to start somewhere. So that's what you would put as the current last name. This is just a list of some of the names that I've used in the past. And of course, if you know of a middle name, you want to put that. Were there any other last names? And if so, you'd want to list those and separate them by a comma. Such as the case for women when they get married. Their last name at birth would be one surname, but then when they get married, they have a different surname. If they got married multiple times, you'd want to put those multiple names in the other last name. And then, of course, suffix. Were they a junior? Were they a senior? Were they the third, the fourth? You know, it could be George Foreman the sixth. I don't know. That's what would go here in the suffix. And then we'd go on if the birth date. We would prefer to have the full birth date, but if you don't have it, entering just the year would be fine. Come on, scroll down. Yep, went too far. So same thing with birth location, the death date, death location, and then of course whether or not they were male or female. And in this case, if there is a change, you would want to say whether or not that is actually what they're going by now. So that is available there. Preferably you put, again, this is sex at birth, but sometimes people don't know. So if they don't know, they can identify whether it's, you know, certain or uncertain once they enter something there. I believe it shows up once you make that selection. The biography is where you would add some of the information that you know about them. And then, of course, the most important piece is where you identify your sources. Where are you getting this information from? Is it oral history, or are you getting this information from some documents? Are you getting this information from Evelyn Floyd? You've talked to your cousin Evelyn, and she's given you some information about this person. You don't want to lose track of it. She's your source right now, so you would enter that the information was provided by, and then Evelyn Floyd. No email addresses, no phone numbers, none of that goes in there, just the name. Okay. And of course, you want to make sure your information is accurate. And that's what I spend the majority of my time doing nowadays, is just going through profiles that have been created and making sure that information is accurate. If you found this person on Find a Grave, you would list Find a Grave as your source for now. So you'd list it there as your source. That's where you're getting your information from. But again, you're going to be doing additional research. So if you got it from a church record, you'd list that as your source. And obviously you're getting it from a census record, so you would list that as your source. So, and then once you continue, then you'd be set up to go ahead and save the document.
And is this public so everybody can see it?
It's, we've got a number of different variations. It's
Okay.
only public if you want it to be public. If I can move y'all out the way for a minute. There we go. Oops. Here where it says my wiki tree, I'm gonna go to my profile, I guess. I'm gonna go to my navigation page. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the if I can move y'all out the way one more time. Yeah, I'm going to pull up my dad's profile, and then you'll be able to see up here. This is telling you that his profile is open. It's unlocked. So that's the privacy level for that. There's 7 different privacy levels, and you can choose to keep it locked so that nobody else messes with it. So here's public, which means it's open. Anyone can view the full profile, but they would have to be on a trusted list. In other words, you'd have to give permission for them to be able to make any edits to that profile if you left it at public. Anyone who's been deceased for 100 years or more is going to be automatically changed to open. Here's one that's most common. This is private with the public biography and family tree. So that's why you were able to see that information that I shared briefly on mine, because I have it as private, but my biography is public and my family tree is public. So you can see it, but you can't do anything else with it. You can just view it. We've got private again with public family. So it's private and all you can see is the family tree. You can't see my biography. It would just show you like I was born in the 1960s, but it won't give you a specific year, that sort of thing. Here's private with public biography. So again, it's private, but all you can see is the biography section and nothing else, not even the family tree. And then finally, the red private is strictly limited public information. Only the trusted list can view or edit this. So, and then last but not least is unlisted. So we can't even do a search on your name and get feedback because you're unlisted. It's just like back in the day when we had the telephone books. Some people, you knew they had a phone, but they weren't listed in that phone book because their number was unlisted. Same thing here. When you're unlisted, there's no public information available to anyone that looks at that profile.
Well, thank you for showing us. Is there anything that you want to show us, before we close out on this part of the presentation? Anything that you want us to, to gather from Wikitree?
Well, it's again, this is completely collaborative. So again, depending on the privacy level you have on your profiles, like when you've got the older ones, if there's somebody you're researching or searching for that's back in the early 1800s and you need assistance, you can ask for collaboration. You can ask for assistance from other Wikitree members. We've got a lot of genealogists out there, a lot of family historians that are eager to help. You find who it is you're looking for. Dr. Lewis Gates has participated in some of our challenges, and we've expanded on his family tree. And, other experienced and well-known genealogists have participated in some of the challenges that we have. We call them challenges because it's fun for other genealogists to help research somebody else's family. So
I have a question for you.
certainly.
How would this platform be used to identify an ancestor that was enslaved before 1900 anywhere in the United States?
Oh yeah, again with my project, U.S. Black Heritage Project, that's primarily what we do. We've got various projects for slaves and slave owners, plantations. So first we would do a search right here in WikiTree to see what information we have. Let's see.
Like out in California, like for myself, how would I use WikiTree if I'm not on WikiTree to find a relative that was enslaved before 1900?
Oh, if you're not on WikiTree,
Right.
You can do a Google search, and in that Google search, you can put the word WikiTree, and it will tell you whether or not that person is on WikiTree or not. Or you can just
Google search and then go from there.
Yeah, and then go from there.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions to her about WikiTree? Thank you for that presentation.
All right. Let me stop sharing.
I'm going to go into GEDmatch. We'll go into that for a brief presentation. Tell you what it is. GEDmatch is a platform for those who's not familiar with GEDmatch, or who has been on GEDmatch that are here now. Have you used who's used this platform, GEDmatch platform? You can just say I have, yes or no.
Yeah, I've been on it, but I've not really used it yet, Jerry.
Okay. All right. Do you have your GEDmatch kit number?
Yes, just a moment.
GEDmatch, for those who are new to this is like an ancestry. I mean, it's a platform that other members from different platforms have uploaded their raw DNA to this platform, so that you don't have to take a test in 23andMe, MyHeritage, and Ancestry. You can take it in 23andMe and then upload it to GEDmatch, and then you can see comparisons, family that you're related to in different platforms. That's the simplest way of explaining it to you.
I put my number in the chat.
Okay, let me take a look at that. All right. And so what happens is, let me stop sharing my screen so I can get to your. No, I can get it right here. Move it down to this. And so what happens, everyone, it's a powerful tool that genealogists use to connect with other relatives from different testing platforms. And I equate it to like a DNA Amazon DNA, like Amazon, and they have all these different DNA testing sites that have relatives who wanted to connect with, see who they connect with, and they don't have to pay for all these different testing sites. So they'll they'll take it at 23andMe, and then they'll upload their raw DNA to this ancestry, this Amazon DNA platform. And this platform is a very serious one. It's private. I mean, it's not private, it's public, but it was used for law enforcement. As a matter of fact, one of the Golden State Killer was identified by one of the relatives that was on GEDmatch. He was like about a fourth cousin. And the law enforcement, they had DNA 15 years previously from a case, and they matched it with a fourth cousin, and then they just did their triangulation. It came down to a person who they suspected to be the perpetrator of this crime. And then what they did is they followed him, and he went into a coffee shop or something like that. It came out, and after he got through drinking his coffee, he put his cup in the trash. The investigators took a coffee cup and did their investigation, and it matched. And that's how they found the Golden State Killer. And so this platform is used for law enforcement. And what happens is you have to, when you sign up for it, it's free. When you sign up for it, it's some privacy considerations. You have to say you can use it, or no, you can't use my information for, law enforcement. That's a good platform to find different people, and to see if you're related to other people who haven't taken the ancestry or the 23andMe test. Does anyone have any questions on that platform? What I'm explaining to you, Clarice, do you?
Not at this time. I think I might have went to it. I now that I got the laptop, I'm gonna go back again so I could see more things to do. I was having problems with my phone, so I'll get back on it again.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And Denise, you said you've used it some, correct? You use it some. You used it a little bit, Denise.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Well, here it is. What it is. Let me get this. Here's a platform. Here it is. Once you upload your raw DNA to GEDmatch, it gives you a profile. It gives you a kit number. And there it is, kit number. That's my kit number, and there's my name. And then some of the things that it can do is, this is information on how to use GEDmatch over here, education. You can watch GEDmatch Wiki. Some people is tied into wikis in some load. And that tells how you can upload your DNA, genetic uploads, 23andMe, family tree DNA, ancestry DNA, and much others. That's how where you upload your raw DNA. Okay? And then here's some of the tools that you can do. One to many, you can compare it to two kids and then see how you relate it to people there. So I'm gonna do one first of all. I'm gonna do one to many, the original value. So I'll pick this. This is going to show me, and I say what it does. I put my kit number in. There it is, Jerry Moss. One to many DNA comparisons. They're going to compare. They have a database, and they're going to compare my DNA with all these different platforms that people volunteer. So you got to volunteer to put your information up to this here platform. And then they're going to show me the results. And so here is the results. Right here. The ones that I have that match me, there I am. The top person that matches me, you can see, let's see, let me get down here, is young Moss. This is my grandson, Delon Moss. So here's his kit number. I uploaded his kit number. The next person is Perry Burnell, the Burnells. they on Ancestry, but they uploaded it into GEDmatch. And so Don Monroe. And so this is, and they get your name, email, and look at this, everyone. Move this over. And then what it does, it shows the centimorgans. That's the measurements, how close they are related to you. So my grandson, he matches me 1,900 centimorgans across 146 segments. This is my daughter's son. So that's my grandson. And he's a generation 1.4 overlap, and it was Ancestry. So I uploaded his, so there's Ancestry. And then this other person, I think it was Perry. Let me go back. That's my cousin on the Burnell side. Let me go back over here. Perry, Francis Haywood, and these, I know these people here, some of these people. And so then over here, I'll show you this. So the closer related to you, the higher the centimorgans. And so here it is, 1,900 is Delon, 203 centimorgans. That's measurement, DNA measurements. That's Perry. There's 203. And generations apart. See, 3.1, he's 1.4, 3.1, 3.1, 130 centimorgans all the way down. And then the date that they took they uploaded their DNA. It's Delon, it was 2000, May 3rd, 2020, Ancestry.
Yeah, you say
With his, My Heritage right here, Ancestry, Family Tree DNA. And look at this here, 23andMe. So I never would have got these people if they didn't upload it in Ancestry, in GEDmatch. Do you have any questions so far about the value of GEDmatch? What have you learned about it so far? What have I shown you about this platform, GEDmatch platform? Anyone comment?
Well, I find that very interesting. This is Evelyn, and I can't wait till Clarice inform me more on it.
What do you see about it that's interesting, Evelyn?
Because you can just go in on without maybe a whole lot of detail, and just find out some information,
You can find connections for people who
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find who your relatives are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so that's what this is. And it goes all the way down and you see my centimorgans go down, they go down. But these people are these different platforms. Now, here's one other, I'm gonna do this one because this is what another one of the tools, and that's why I asked for um, uh, Denise's kit. We can also compare two kit numbers. And this is people who match both kits right there. I'm gonna click and people who match both kits. So I'm gonna put my kit number in and I'm gonna put her kit number in, Denise's, and then we're gonna compare them and see in this Amazon DNA platform who matches both of us. So I'll put mine in first and I'll put her kit number in.
So when if you get up, could you hook me up? Hmm.
Okay, there's hers. And then we're gonna look at this 10 centimorgans is gonna be the segments, and then we're gonna do a match. Watch this. They're gonna go through their database, all the different people, and we're gonna see who matches her and me. I'm gonna display the results. So
Oh, of course. Oh,
here's mine, Jerry Moss, and here's Denise. Now I didn't know and didn't know that I was related to her and that she has relatives that are we have shared matches. I didn't know that. But now let's look at this.
yeah.
Um, this line right here is a separating. On the left side is uh my numbers right here, and on the right side is her numbers. So here's Denise's, and that's her kit number, the RW, and here's mine, the FE9 68785. So there is a person who's uploaded their DNA, and they match me, and they match her. They match me 33 centromorgans. They match her 11 centromorgans. That's measurements. That person matches me 4 generations away and matches her 5 generations away. But this is the closest one out of the database who matches me. And then so what happens is you go over here. Uh, there you go. It gives you their email address. But that's that Wood. And so we can reach out and contact that person. That's Wood. And this is the other person. And then you can see, do you know any of these people? I can say, do I know any of them? And if I know them, then I know that they're on this side of my family. If she sees these names and knows some of them, she can tell me they're on her side of a certain type of the family. And
Not a one. I
and,
don't know any of them.
yeah, and me either. But we do have these matches. You see?
Yeah.
So here's another one right here. Let's take a look at it. On her side, this person is Genealogy 86. That person matches her 20 centromorgans. That's a lot. That's a fourth cousin away from her. And they match me 10 centromorgans. So that's her highest number is 20. And my highest number is 33. This Felicia Wood. So Felicia Wood is the one who matches both of us. Me 4 generation, her 5.1. But we do have a number of people who match us. So in a sense, we are DNA. Denise and myself are. We have family members who have DNA matches who share both of our DNA.
Yeah, we share cousins.
Yes, we share cousins. And that's what this platform does. It allows you to do that. So that's and this is the names of them. And so if we wanted to find out, here's somebody 20. This person is 26 centromorgans. I can go find an ancestry and see if I can find that person if they are in ancestry. That's a fourth cousin of mine and see who they are and their family.
Email.
And then we can do our research and see how we're connected.
Oh.
So that's the platform. That's what the GEDmatch platform is. So does anyone have any questions on that? What did you learn?
How you doing, Evelyn? How you doing, Evelyn?
Oh, fine. Yeah, that's just so interesting. I'm taking notes.
What did you learn? What did you learn from that, Evelyn?
Well, I found that seemed to be sort of a quick, simple way of going into it. It's probably not as thorough, but you do get some information, some point to start from.
It's a tool. It's another tool.
Yeah, it's a tool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, we definitely use it for those purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm gonna show you when you get your kits. I'm gonna go over this. The next item, I'm fly through this one, and then we can get ready to shut it down. But let me share my screen. When you get your kits back, this is the home screen. Can you all see this home screen? Ancestry. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
On the home screen, here's your home. This talks about trees. I have a number of trees over here, and I can search. I can search immigration records, census records, and then here's memories, and it'll go through my galleries, the pictures that are in my that I have, and I have pictures that I uploaded about my family and different records. So that's what that does. DNA pictures, things that I've saved, pictures, and these are some of my relatives. I have pictures of my ancestors, and that was under memories. And so you see all the different people, birth certificates, news articles, and these are some of my DNA relatives and some who are shared information. So that's what that does. And then let's look at DNA matches. What you're going to get when you get your results back, they're going to give you matches. And Ancestry has been able to separate them. You can separate them by, you see, oh, here's your origins first. The first thing I wanted to know, what was my origin? Who was I? Where did I come from? And here's what it has for you. Look at this map. Can you see this map?
Yep.
Okay. Well, on this map, it tells my region, the regions, my ancestor regions. So I'm 29% Nigerian, 15% Cameroon, and then if you pick on that, it highlights it. Nigeria, look over here. It highlights this map on work. It highlights it over there. And Ireland, I have some Ireland, and there it is up there. Look, it highlights Ireland up at the top. And Ireland, I have 11%. So that's where that slaveholder comes in. See? And my ethnicity now, this is what it's showing you. Bantu people, and it shows where the Bantus are. Look at that map. Senegal, Northern Africa, and there's some Denmark, Norway, just a small percentage of that. And so that's when you find out what your ethnicity is. There it is. And you also, with this tool, you can find your ethnicity origins by parents. Look at that. Click on that. And then origins by parent. And it'll show you which ones that are by parent. And so it gives you parent journey. It gives you a map, your journeys by parents. And so this is everyone. And then I can do for my father, that's the parental, that's where most of them are from, that area there. And that's where all my records are from Texarkana, Prescott, all through there. Look at that. And then maternal, they're in Texas and Oklahoma. That's where my families are from, right through there. See? So this map is showing you based off of your records where your families are, and it's showing you a map of it. And it goes further. It has a chromosome painter. What that does, we have 23 chromosomes, and it breaks it down your different regions by colors on each of your chromosomes. So it's a science to this. DNA is science. It's the truth. And so on that, like for Nigeria, I can just from my parents' side, there it parental side, but from my father's side, there it is for everyone. And my mother's side, it shows the different colors and it shows the different regions over on the side. And then here's all. There they all are. So I just want to give you an example of what programs that Ancestry has for you. And then let's do this one. When you get it back, you're going to be able to do this. Your matches. Ancestry gives you your matches. And we used to have to figure out on the mother's side or father's side. But what Ancestry does now, matches, this is all my matches, and get as many people in your family to take a test, especially your seasoned citizens. Your seasoned citizens get their test because then their DNA goes back further with your ancestors. Make sure you get as many of them who will take it, the test, male and female. So it's going to be great that you're doing this, Evelyn, because you're going to be able to reach back further into your family history, and they'll be able to, Ancestry will be able to get more information about your family's migration and your family history.
Oh, okay.
So these are my matches. I'm giving you an example. And one thing that I also recommend, you see, I had this kit. This is an investment. I am reconstructing my family. I have reconstructed it through DNA. I didn't know very much about my father's side of the family, but through DNA, now I have cousins, just like cousins right here that I talk to, that I interact with. Living cousins. And so I don't focus. I know the past, the history, but my focus while I'm still here is to meet people who are alive. My cousins from my ancestors, my uncles, my great grandfathers, brothers and sisters, their grandkids are like me. You know what I mean? And they still alive. And so with this DNA, we're able to talk and interact. So we're building our family portraits, and we're doing it with live people. What does that sound like?
That sounds good.
Huh?
That sounds good, and especially to pass on to the next generation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so now I have these matches, and they like that young man that was on earlier, he'll go talk to his mother or his grandmother, and I know that family. And then you might start off with a low number Central Mortgage, and then they'll talk to their parent. I know that family, and then you meet them. And just like for Frances, she met all of her family through Ancestry. You saw that, didn't you? Okay, so here they are. And here's another thing that I did. Once I got involved, I talked to my children, and I asked them, and my family members, I used positive persuasion. I want you to take a test. I want to have your DNA so we can fill out our family portrait. And some were a little reluctant. Some weren't. Some were supportive. Others, I had to.
My fist isn't that big.
And being persistent, positively persistent.
Yeah, yeah.
They did it. And so, and my wife, I had 2 sons and a daughter, my grandson, my brother, my nieces and nephews, my first cousin that I knew was a first cousin, but he didn't have a test. I gave him a test. that test sat on his desk for over a year, but he finally did it, and now he's in. And so that's what I'm saying. Some people might not want to take the test, but as many people as we test, the better it's going to be for us, and it's going to better be for them and our ancestors and our descendants, our descendants. So here I am. Here's my son, Jerry Jr. He's 3,400 Central Morgan's 50% shared DNA. He has half of my DNA. That's how it is. My other son, he has 3,400 Central Morgans. He has 50%. That's how it is. Your kids have 50%. I'm gonna give you a prime example. My daughter Bridget, there she is. She has 50%. She's 3,400 Central Morgans. I am DNA. We have 7,000. Each of us have 7,000. Half of 7,000 is 3,500. That's DNA measurements, and that's why they match me half. Now that's science.
Yeah, it
That's
sure is.
now. Do you see? You see it right here, don't you?
Oh, that's interesting.
So I just want to break it down to you so you can see where the the science of this DNA, this ancestry. So okay, and then here's Dale, my brother. He's 2,800, and he's 50% shared DNA, 50% shared from my mother and father. So he's 2,600. His Central Morgans are lower, a little lower, but 2,600 is a whole lot. But he's my brother. My kids get 50% of mine, you see? But Dale, my brother Dale, we have the same mother and father. And so there he is at 2,600 at Central Morgan. And then here's my Destiny. That's my granddaughter. See, she has 19 Central Morgans and she's at 28%. Remember what I was saying? Like my kids are at 50%. My grandkids are at 25%, half of them. And so there she is, right around there, 28%, 25%. And here's Delon. He's at 26%. He's my grandson. He's at 25%, right in that area. Because he's my daughter's son. So he's at 25%. And his numbers, look at them. Both of them are like 1,900, 1,800. So, and my nephew, he's at 1,700. And another my niece, 1,500. LaShawn, Tracy, 1,400. See, I got my family, and a lot of them did. Some of them did it on their own. They were already on there, or they did it. But the ones, some of them, I did it. I asked them to take these tests, and they took them. So that's why I have a lot of people who match me that are my family.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
So you see it. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So here's what and then what I did is, what you can do is you can create a group. And what I've done on my groups, I'm not, they're I have Jared. These over here, these are the different groups. I start off with your mother and your father's side. People who match me, I give them a color, F for fathers, M for mothers. So there it is. Father's side of the family, Moss. Mother's side of the family, Gildon. Her color is this color, another one is that. So that's what I do, you see. And so that's why you see these different colors. And this matches my mother and father, And so, and then you just go all the way down And then you also see common ancestor. This is, we know who our common ancestors are too. It tells you that. So there that is. So these are all my relatives, and the numbers get lower as you go down. And there's like 980. So it's on my mother's side, father's side. So, and the numbers are your centimorgans right here. I just want to share that with you. And so what you can do is by parent, what ancestry does, it shows you, it breaks it out for you. You have, from my dad's side, there's 9,600 matches, DNA matches. And then from my mother's side, there's 9,600 matches. And they separated them out for me already. So I can look at view matches on my father's side and reach out to them, or I can view matches on my mother's side right here. And it shows you the regions, colors over here, and this is where they're from, the comment where they came from. And then these are the names. These are the most common last names which can be found in the trees of your closest paternal matches. So when I'm reaching out, I use these names: Burnell, Jackson, Joe, and Moss. On my dad's side, when I reach out with my text message. On my mother's side, I use these names: Ellison, Gray, Miller, and Gildon. When I reach out, I use those surnames. And then somebody out there matches them. Obviously, look, there's 9,000 people out there. And they're in this platform. We're all in this ocean. And I just send my message out, and that's how I build my relationships. I fill out my family portrait. So how does that sound as the method of connecting with your relatives, Clarice? Can you hear me, Clarice? Yeah. Now, other one is this, by location. I like this one. Ancestry, they break out all your relatives by locations on a map. Your DNA matches, so you can go to certain cities, Arizona, New Mexico, and I have 30 something matches here in Los Angeles. Can you see this map?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
there it is right there. So Victorville, and you click on it, and it'll tell you, if it's their names and where they live at. San Bernardino, there's 3 people. Are they distant relatives or close relatives? Got their names. Moreno Valley, there's 2 up there. Their names. And you'll find, once you get your map, where you at? Up in Sacramento? Let me see. Let me go
Yes, I am.
up to Sacramento. Sacramento, right up here. Elks Grove. See that? I have 2 right here. One is Annie Franklin and Kendra Page. They're in Sacramento, right in this location here. There's 2 of my DNA relatives in Sacramento. And so you can use this. And where at in Ohio? Ohio.
Well, I got people in California. I got people in every state.
Well, here's one in Zanesville.
Yeah.
You know what that's at?
Yes,
Yeah,
about a 30-minute drive from where I am.
but there she is right there, Karen Ragsdale.
Yeah, there you are in Columbus.
Yeah, that's it. And there's four in Columbus.
Hmm.
And
Do I
so
know
it's,
any of those people? No.
yeah, okay. And,
Hmm.
and then up here, right by Mount Vernon, here this person is Kay Jax, right over there. So that just gives you an example of what those are some of the things that this program helps you. It makes your research better. They really want to keep their customers, and I don't blame them. It's been very helpful to have. So that's pretty much the information that we can share for today. And is there any other items that you want to go over before we close? The meeting. Anything that you see or that you've learned and that you feel we need to discuss, like probably the next time? Is there anything that resonates with what we did today?
Evelyn just called me. Somebody called her and she got cut off and she didn't know to get back on. But I was going to now, people have to have uploaded their DNA to GEDMAP. Is that right? In order
Yes.
for to get those matches?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Not in order to get the ones when I was giving the presentation on Jet Match.
Okay.
That platform, yeah, you have to upload your raw data from Ancestry to
To
Jet Match.
GEDMAP. So
Well, and
anyone
it's
who
not
has
just
done that,
ancestry. Yeah,
huh?
it's not just ancestry. If you
But from
test
any
it
other,
through,
it could be some other platform as well.
yes,
Okay.
yes, it can
Okay.
be
I get you.
23andMe, it could be My Heritage, it could be any of them. You
Oh,
just
okay.
have to
I see.
upload it to GEDmatch.
Okay.
And
Uh-huh.
Clarice, yours isn't uploaded to Jet Match yet.
No, it's not. I think, like I said, just got my laptop. You got to learn all these things. I'm gonna go back and try it again because trying to do it on the phone was just too complicated.
You
My
Hmm.
phone was acting up and everything as well. So,
did you want to upload yours to Jet Match?
yeah, I do. And I
Okay.
don't know if I had started an account and if I had did a password. I don't know. I know I had attempted to do something once,
Okay,
but I'm
that's
going to yet.
okay, but those are just a couple of steps, and then you'll be right up in that platform, and you'll
Okay.
find you'll find more relatives.
Okay.
You just saw that,
Yeah.
didn't
Right. Right. And I'm gonna do that. Find the grave because I think if I can put in Collins, the name Collins, and I know the county in Texas, maybe I'll find some of those graves or find some information that way too. So,
you? You
uh,
will.
yeah, I'm looking forward. Now that I got my laptop working, because with the phone, it just was not working out for me.
Oh no, you'll find your tools are very important, the ones that you use.
Right.
And you can
Abs-
search them on WikiTree as well, because
No,
like I said, I'm working on that cemetery project and I've got over 3,000 cemeteries loaded in.
no, WikiTree, I think I do. I get a lot of emails from WikiTree. Now they just give you a lot of different feeds. Is
Yeah, yeah.
so
To
what
tell you
are they?
what's going on and what's happening. And
So
if
basically, you can
somebody
just
makes
look
a
at.
change, yeah, I'm
Okay,
sorry,
go
go
on. I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, so
I
you
was
can
going to
just
say if
pretty
some,
much look at them and then
yeah,
delete them if you want. I mean, there's nothing
y-
you need to worry about keeping or storing.
correct,
Okay, okay.
correct. And if somebody makes a change to a profile that you've created, that you're still the
Uh-huh.
profile manager for, you will
Uh-huh.
get an email.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have made some attempts to these things, but like I said, I was having phone issues and trying
yeah.
to do something on that little Android phone was just with eye issues don't work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I got a
it's
lot of
hard trying to do
information.
that on a phone or even on an
Oh my,
iPad. I don't know how
yeah.
some of y'all do it. I need more screen space.
I do too. I have the laptop, and I like the way it does because it has on the right side. I was trying to look for where's the participants or where's this, and I didn't realize it was on the right side. Yes, so it leaves you the screen, and then on the right side all the information. Then at the bottom it has information as well. So it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like learning as I go.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna be glad to get with my cousin, and her and I can work through a lot of these different things.
How is she related to you?
She is my first cousin. Her
Really?
mother and my mother are sisters, yes.
Her cousin.
Yeah, and she's like I said, she's 85, or she just turned 86, I think. But she's the one that could bridge all these things for even for me. And so we're trying to get all this stuff out of her. And any of us can go at any moment, but without her, we're just kind of like at loss. Because she was there, she knows a lot of the stories, she can connect a lot of these people. And we just got to help her technology wise. Like I said, somebody had called in, bumped her off, and her grandchild was out. She don't know how to get back on the Zoom and everything. So when I go down there, I'm going to work with her on that because it's not complicated, and
Yeah.
just help her with that.
Bless her heart, she's willing to learn. But
Oh yeah,
my
because she
my
love. Oh,
advice, because she's 86, take a
uh-huh,
tape recorder,
uh-huh.
um, and just ask her questions to prompt her memory and let her talk.
Right,
And then you
right,
record it, and then somebody else can transcribe it because she'll never get around to it.
right. No, she won't do it. No, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's sharp as a tick on that, on those that memorizing all those things and people's
Mm-hmm.
names. And she even corrects. People say, well, so and so, so. She's no, no, that ain't the way it was. Here, this is how it was.
Yeah.
She's real sharp on that. We tease her because she keeps saying she has a good 25 years left. And as I said, she's been saying that for 40 years.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the health is declining and ever. So we're just trying to get through this. And I'm so glad she got connected. And I wish I could have gotten some other relatives, but we're gonna just get as many people because so the younger group so they can catch on. And we got to
Yeah.
find that one or two people who wants to pioneer this and that they can carry it forward because a lot of people are not it's like, oh yeah, that's okay, that's interesting. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's hard to find someone that's going to be dedicated and pass that on. Otherwise, we knew each other, me and Evelyn in our generation, and maybe the generation below, but below that generation, they
Mm-hmm.
halfway know each other.
Well,
So
and honestly, that's the reason why I'm thankful for WikiTree, because
uh-huh.
Ancestry is going to be limited unless they are a member.
Oh,
If
okay.
with I mean, you could do it on Ancestry and you got all this DNA information and this, that, and the other, but
Right,
after you're gone, there's no guarantee that they're going to be your family members, your descendants are going to be able to see that,
right, right.
because they would have to purchase a subscription to WikiTree to be able to see all the hard work you've done. And
Some people
No,
are
that's
no,
really
where
not that
no,
interested.
WikiTree
no,
comes
not
in.
look at that. They'd have to purchase it to Ancestry.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Ancestry.
yeah. You
Yeah.
said WikiTree.
Oh, I'm sorry. But WikiTree is free. So they will never have to pay anything, and they'll be able to see your hard work, all the
Okay.
information that you've collected, and any pictures that you have of your ancestors that you want to put
Hmm.
out there. They'll
Hmm.
be able to see that. That's the next best thing to writing a book.
Hmm. That's
And
interesting.
yeah, that's just my personal opinion, because
No,
at our
it's and
family
I
reunions,
value that. I value that. Yes, yes.
yeah, at our family reunions, I had it on Ancestry, and I would synchronize it with Family Tree Maker and generate a book. And at every reunion, I was creating those books, and now it's gotten to the point where it's just too expensive.
Oh, so you're the person. Yeah, I was just getting ready to mention that. You're the one that did those books.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, okay.
yeah. And it just, I mean, the last book I created, set of books, was in 2018. And that's because I had over 2,000 pages on one family line.
Wow.
And yes, a lot of people. And now I'm up to 40,000 people on
Oh
that
my
one
goodness.
tree. That's just that one line. and I have to space out my time so I can spend a little bit of time, at least an hour a week, to add some more people to WikiTree.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, that's devotion.
Well, yeah, and it's just when you try to figure out what you're going to do for the younger generation, for the people that are
Hmm.
coming along behind us,
Hmm.
because in my case, all my ancestors are gone.
Oh wow.
you
Yeah.
know, my parents, my grandparents, my great grandparents, they're all gone. And I wished I had the foresight to, you know, ask them questions when I was younger and to,
If
get that recorded on tape.
Right, right.
I
Oh
don't,
my goodness. Listen to all those stories. They said, if I had known then what I know
yes,
now. Same thing with all my
exactly.
aunts, they're all gone,
Yep,
grandparents. And I didn't know any of my grandparents, but it's like I'm getting all this information. Sometimes people think it's bizarre, but it's like even though these people are dead, I knew my aunts and things like that, but the great grandparents and grandparents and
yep,
on my father's side, even though those people are dead, but it's still you get connected, you part of your family.
yep,
It brings about fulfillment of who you are.
yes,
And
yep,
and if you don't know who, because you have that DNA running through you, because I can remember times different family members, oh, you act just like Aunt so and so,
mm,
you act just like a Betty Bell, and this one and
mm,
that one, the other. Well, it's that
mm,
DNA that
yep,
operates. Why is this kid acting like this? He had an uncle that was just like him. You never met him. So
mm,
all of this information, if our children don't know who they are and what they come from, that's the thing with reparation. We don't know what we came from. We weren't a bunch of savage people running out in the jungle. We're building pyramids. We're genius. If you don't
yes,
know who you are, what your bloodline is, you will never be able to allow that createdness in you come out. And that's the whole
yes,
purpose. And DNA, do not lie.
yep. Your
All
your
them secrets,
traits and your
all
skills.
of
Now, I
it
will
even
say
tells you about that.
Ancestry hit the nail on the head with the traits. We don't talk
Yes.
much about that, but they're collecting traits, and you can see what traits you have in
And
common.
they tell you you're more likely to this, you're not less. And
Yep.
I was looking at some of those, and said, well, that is the truth. And it's something so simple as you're more likely to like cilantro. And I love cilantro. So what is this? That's
Yeah.
pretty good. That's pretty good. And you were so wise when you tell the person take all that. You didn't say these words, but take it with a grain of salt. It's a hint. You can't just
Yes.
totally rely on it because they'll tell you even on I do a chat too. That same chat putting together with the group that I'm working with in Sacramento, and it tells you chat can make mistakes.
Yes.
You got to research things. It's just a advances your search. It sort of gives you outlines. You got
Mm-hmm.
to still go in there and
Mm-hmm.
modify things and work it out. You can't stop thinking. That's why I don't get on the phone. Can we send you to our virtual chat? I said, no, I need a live person because those chats and things are programmed. Anything,
Mm-hmm.
something is a little bit twisted and different, they're not designed to handle that
Mm-hmm.
yet. So that's good advice to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
people check and
And
Yeah.
use it as a guideline.
here's an example of the traits
Uh-huh.
that that Ancestry has.
Mm-hmm. Alcohol flush, huh?
Oh,
Well, they getting deep now.
and
Oh
so I'm
yeah,
not likely to be liking alcohol, and it's true. I don't drink
artistic.
hardly. Oh
Asparagus
wow.
odor. My
You'll
goodness.
be able to smell. I was like, what does that got to do with anything? I saw that one, but then when it came out with the cilantro, I said, well, then that was
Yeah.
right on. I definitely love cilantro. I'll boil cilantro, put cilantro in anything almost.
Looking at cavities, like you get
Yeah,
cavities.
likely to
Oh,
get her. You gotta.
Yeah.
isn't that something? Isn't that something? God,
Yeah.
Look at this one. Desire to succeed.
Yeah.
that's true. It tells you
Yep.
all of that. Yes.
Yep.
You're susceptible to be anxiety and all those different things. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess it's based on a number of so many thousands and thousands of results, and
Yeah.
from different type of whatever, they can come together and compile all this and say, this is more likely what you may do.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah, hair color. We always knew hair
Yeah.
color. That was one of the easily identifiable ones.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Wow.
Hmm. Wow, they've really expanded on this list. Yeah, physical agility. You know, black
That,
folks, we are agile.
yes. And it wasn't because we were some monkeys, come from the monkeys in no trees.
That's right.
We were not in the trees.
Look at
Yep.
that self-confidence
Yep.
Yeah, that's another one.
from mama.
Quick reflexes, playing instruments. Yeah, wow, they got them all. They got a bunch of stuff. Spicy food. Yeah, that would be me. And that's funny because I can tell you which side of the family I got that from. It's from my dad's side of the family.
It's still doing.
I think
Yeah.
it may even break it down on that how you which where it came from too. If
Mm-hmm.
it's not now, I'm sure they will.
Yeah. Well, those columns influenced by paternal side or maternal side. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking there tells you where that came from.
Yep.
It is amazing. It's just
And it says like
Taking naps. Look at that.
it has me, it has
Mm-hmm.
me, my son, and my other son. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
It has theirs too.
Yeah.
wow.
Which one matches? Which one's to me?
So it broke it down between yeah,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
three
nice and
generations or two generations there. Wow.
let's see what goes over here.
I guess that's what programming does.
Yeah, they really trying to keep
Yep.
really trying to keep our money. But
Well,
you
but
mentioned it.
you got to get those algorithms right.
Yeah, you
'Cause,
mentioned
I
it.
mean, there's so many people that complain. That's not right. How'd that person get in there?
Oh, Clarice, let me show you this though. Here's what they do:
Mm,
create a report. Now, with Ancestry, we do all our work, and now what they can do is, um, this is my single singer. This is
Your ancestors.
it'll make a report for me,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can send this report to a relative. So watch this. This is for just 3 generations. See, there I am. Generation 2 is my mother, is my daddy, and generation 3 is my grandfather. But I can over here, I can total generations. I can click this instead of 4. I'm gonna go 6, and look what it does. It keeps going. Generation 4. It has the people who are my tree.
hmm hmm
Generation 6. Let's go further. Generation 7, and it gives 7 of my generations their names. They pulled it from my tree and they put it in a document that I can use. See that?
Okay. Okay.
And then you can download it, you can print it, you can share it. Right over here, I can share it, and then you'll have it
So
all. Go
so
ahead.
what's the information? I mean, I can see it, but what's the information? It just gives their names and what else?
Now
Just
let me show, let me sh- let me see if I can make it.
Name, birth, and death date and location.
oh, okay. Okay.
If you have that in your tree, it'll show up on this report.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit bigger. Okay.
I take it. There I am. Where I was born, generation 2. It talks about my father and mother. That
hmm
information. Generation 3. has the dates and everything. I pulled it out of my tree and it's putting it in a report form.
Okay, so you don't have to go to the tree and click on something and open it up. It just puts it all out there.
It's all the generations. See, four.
Yeah, your
Yeah, yeah,
ancestors. Yeah.
right, exactly. I see. Uh-huh. It's like
Generation
at a glance. You can just see it all
Mm-hmm.
at a glance.
generation
Okay.
six. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's in a form of a report.
Now, where did you go to do that?
I'll show you.
Choose report. I see that.
Let me do this one here. Let's say this descendancy.
Okay.
Okay, descendancy.
And Ancestry is still working on this because even though the title says charts and reports, all you can get right now is the reports. They've not been able to generate the charts yet.
Um, but you get it over here. Create a report right here. See that? It says create a report, and you go into it's part of your Pro Tools. That's another.
So you go to your Pro
Yeah.
Tools and you go from there. That's
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
what
the
that
Pro Tools,
okay.
Yeah.
and then go
Gotcha.
seven.
Pro
You
Tools being the choice.
there,
Okay.
there they all are. Seven of them generations.
Wow, that's nice.
Now you know what they did? They copied this from and Denise knows this.
Yep. That's why I'm not that excited about
Yeah,
it.
they copied
I
this
would,
from Family Tree Maker.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Family Tree Maker's been doing it from the very beginning.
Yeah, and
It's
we
an
got
ancestry report. Yeah, your ancestors. And the descendants do the same thing, except it goes in the opposite direction.
Now, Denise, is that the group that you work with that you're on the board or something? You share something.
No,
yeah.
no, that's WikiTree, where
WikiTree.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
where I'm
so
a
here
project lead.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
this is there's pause that went. This
Yeah, that's
okay,
Family Tree Maker.
so that's Family Tree Maker, and this
Okay.
is the one that
You know the 2024 version is out now, right?
yeah, I hear them. Okay, so, so this is
Is
my
that another free platform?
oh
No,
no,
this one, it's software that you have to purchase.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So watch what it does. You can now this is my wife's tree right here, and you can go into publish and you want to purchase a pedigree chart. Let's see this. Create one. And it makes a chart for you. You see how it's setting up a pedigree chart for it. I
Oh,
want
okay.
I want to do something else. I want to show you.
And you can do that on Ancestry.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I want to do the descendant chart. You know, this one, oh, here it is right here.
Person,
Ge-
yeah,
ge-
do your person reports or genealogy. Yeah.
Here it is. Genealogy report.
Yeah.
And, and let's pick this one.
Yeah. That's for your ancestors.
Yeah.
You didn't
And
have that set on you. You got it set on Barbara Jean.
yeah, but this is my wife.
Okay.
So, and
Okay.
Clarice, look what it does. It has all the different information here. It has her generation, two, three, four, five, and it tells their names, fourth generations, and you can include parent-child relationship. Click right there. Add another portion to it. Let's see, there it
You
goes.
only have that set at 4.
Uh,
Hmm.
okay, over here, I can set it
Yeah.
up here. Let's go higher. Let's go at 8. So what it does is generating this report. It's still gathering information. Okay, so here she is, my wife, and she's the daughter of this person, McClure, and her mother, Geneva McLido, and she married me in Kansas City, uh, and this is my birthday in Omaha, Nebraska. And then it goes to her her father and her mother, and it goes all the way down, generation 4.
Now, the beauty of this, Clarice, is that this is the only software that will synchronize with Ancestry.
Yeah, look at it.
So when you make
Generation
updates in
6.
Ancestry, all you have to do is sync it up and it'll automatically update in Family Tree Maker.
Uh-huh. And then like you include parents. Look what it's generating. It's still generating something. Let me get that in.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Look what that did. I said add pictures, Clarice.
Mm-hmm.
And what it adds pictures that I have in my files. And look at it. That's her mother right there. It has the pictures here. And it add the pictures also if you had them. But for mine,
Mm-hmm.
it shows them. And then after you get all this information, what you can do is over here, you can share. See what it says share? You
Mm-hmm.
share. And, uh, and you can share a PDF file. And so you can have a file of it and then just send it to somebody and they'll have the file just like this. So I can give them all my information in a digital file and they can just pick it up and look at it and read it. So you see how helpful that can be.
Yeah. Do you have the book creator?
Yeah, it's no, that's the extra. You told me that.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Oh, okay.
Because Theory, she's made a book from hers. She made a book.
Several books. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Why did this come way over here? But I do. You know, that's okay. I'm gonna do send to PDF, and what it's doing is it it's making a PDF of this. Oh, there it is right here. I say okay,
Mm-hmm.
and, and watch this here, Clarice. Ancestors of Barbara Moss is a PDF. I'm gonna save it, but I'm gonna save it to a certain file. Let's go right over here. I have a file for her here. Can't find it. Oh, not there. Who's Barbara's phone? Here it is right here. March 4th. I click here and it'll go in her folder and I say okay and save. So what it's doing is pulling all this information into a PDF file.
Uh-huh.
And so what I do is I'll go over into document. March 4th. Barbara G. Moss documents. Double click on that. And where is that file? Should be at the PDF. And I don't think I. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, 518. Watch this. I double click on that. There it is. This is a file I just created. It's a PDF file.
Mhm.
Yeah, it has all the information there, all the way down into generations. And now I can just mail this to her family members. Here's a copy of your and my kids. I
Mhm.
give it to them, give them a PDF, and then they'll have this information. So when they want to start making a tree, they can start making a tree because I got all the information right here in a document. Or if they want to learn about their history, who their grandparents are, ancestors, here it is in a PDF form.
And you're saying that ancestor doesn't do this to this
Not to this,
extent?
not to this extent.
Oh,
They
Mm-hmm.
okay.
they do it, but look at this. See, this breaks it down. Like
Hmm.
the names, where they was born, and the kids, and where they're from,
Hmm.
and it's generation 6. It has them all there.
Hmm. And what does this cost a month?
No, you don't pay it per month. You pay for it, and then you have it the platform and
Hmm.
a certain amount, and then like Denise is saying, they're upgrading their bells and whistles to a 2024 version. This version is a 2019 version that I have.
Oh, okay.
And then they're
So,
asking, do you want to upgrade to another one
hmm,
that have more bells?
okay, I saw that. Uh-huh.
And so, but again, do you see
Yeah, I
this?
can see the like. What did you pay? Let me just say, what did you pay for? Accounting people always want to know cost.
This is called Family Tree Maker.
Uh,
Just look at Family Tree Maker.
oh,
I can't remember.
Well, it's software McKeeve now.
It's
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember. I can't even remember how much I paid for it
me
back in
either.
2019.
Yeah, Family Tree Maker.
once
And
you buy it, you have it.
yeah, once you have it, you have it.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
use it, and I use it for a lot of different reasons, but this is the main one. You see, I got a PDF,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I might have a list of relatives on my dad's side. I'll just get their emails and just send them this,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
then they
but
have it.
I'm cost wise, Clarice. I'm trying to remember. I'm thinking it was around $30.
Oh, that's nothing.
No, it's not no $30.
I was thinking you were gonna say in the
I'm talking
hundreds.
about back in 2019 when
Yeah,
No,
but
we
no,
I
no,
got
mean,
this
if it's
version. I think it was
right,
around $30.
no, it's not
I mean,
30.
venture to say $50, but I'm just thinking it was like gonna be in the hundreds or something.
It
So
is.
that just gives me a
It is in the
ballpark.
hundreds, and you can negotiate with them too,
Oh,
because
really?
they'll try to. And I did have it at one time. I had the customer support. See,
Okay.
they have customer support that they support
Mm-hmm.
the program. It's that heavy, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll come in with your computer, and they'll take over your computer. They clean it up. They'll update your software. They'll they'll make sure everything is balanced. And if you have any questions on this, they'll help you to how to use the program. I had
Oh,
that. I
really?
had that at
Oh,
one,
okay.
but now I don't pay for that anymore. But I still
Okay.
have the program. But I
Now, when
use
you
that
this
as
upgrade,
much
are
as
you
I
going to
can.
pay for an upgrade?
No, not now.
No.
I
But
You've
did.
done you've done what you want. What'd you pay for the upgrade?
I think for me the upgrade, that's probably why the $30 is sticking out in my mind.
Oh, okay.
I mean I paid for it like last year, year before last. I had
Mm-hmm.
reserved it, but I'm gonna put in the chat how much it costs here.
Yeah, I have to check
Okay.
and see.
It's 149.95 now.
Oh, okay, for the whole
Yeah.
and you have that for life. You just have to upgrade whenever they.
Yeah, if you want the upgrade, because you have a choice. You know,
Right, right.
you get this, you can either pay for an upgraded version or you can keep using this same version. You just won't get
Mm-hmm.
all the bells and whistles that come with the
Right.
upgraded version.
Exactly. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
and you see that Ancestry, they're making an attempt at it, but it's nothing like this. You see that? You see how
Hmm.
powerful that tool is,
Yeah,
Family Tree Maker.
that's pretty good. Get all that information right there.
And then just
Hmm.
send a PDF file. And then these youngsters, they can start
They'll
building
have it.
they can start building their tree off of that. And some of your cousins, some of the people who aren't that enthused about being involved, when you give them that and they look at that about their family history, it gets them involved. Some
Right.
some of them, it motivates them to get off their little duff and get involved. Yeah, some of them like that.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. I mean, those that if they show some interest, they'll take this and go with it. But if they're not interested, they're not gonna go with anything.
but what I found is the youth, my young my young nephews and nieces and all them, um, they really enjoyed and they appreciate the work that we've done.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And you share it
Yeah.
with them, they appreciate it because they don't know their family history.
And this technology, just the technology part of it just fascinates them to know that something like this can be created. I think that's what piques their interest because they're trying to figure out what else can I do with this.
And the other item that I saw, it was an interest from the family members, especially some family members. They wanted to know where we how much Native American did we have in us.
Mm,
They had heard stories on that. How much?
hmm.
And then you saw how there's people are contacting the Native Americans wanting to get benefits, and they want to see what
Right.
percentage they can they qualify,
Right.
because some people
Yeah.
are getting it, and
Well,
then
and well, because that's a misnomer. It's been misreported. Um, a lot of you're right. A lot of folks think they can get something if they've got some Native American blood. For number one, we're so far back in generations that even if we did, it
Hmm.
would be less than 1%. But they'd really have to go through some rigorous research on their family's history in order to prove that they have Native American ancestry.
Hmm.
Yeah, to get on those Dawes rolls. And even then, they may not get any money from those casinos because that's where it's coming from. They want to collect monies on those casinos. And it's not happening. Even some of the folks that have already been proven to have Indian ancestry are being kicked out of the group
right,
that's where they to get this money. So they can't
Mm.
take part in it.
Reparations, we better take a lesson.
yeah, they
Yes.
are. They're kicking them out. You right.
Yes, they're kicking them out.
Everything
Saying,
walking is going to be trying to claim to be from African descendants of African slaves if
yeah,
they ever get that money. Even folks now, oh yeah, y'all got your money yet? Just
yeah,
waiting.
yeah.
Wow, interesting.
And
Well, see,
it's sad, really.
Yeah, well, it really is.
and all the value is priceless. It's finding our relatives, DNA,
Yeah,
connecting with family members. That's priceless. There's no
yeah.
Yes.
reparations that can even compete with that. And so that's why I stay focused on reconnecting
Hmm.
families and helping others. And if that comes, I want to be there. Believe me,
Hmm.
I'm gonna do my part to help it in the process. But in the meantime, we got to keep staying focused on connecting our families and helping those who are interested.
That is the repair. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, the reparation is just to ease the pain and help facilitate things, but the damage was that we were separated,
Yeah,
Hmm.
we
continually
reconstructing our
separated.
families, still are.
That's it. That was the damage.
And that's why I showed you on these presentations, I showed you the map, for example.
And that's another good thing about it. You get
Yeah,
an area where these people are hanging out.
you see where your DNA matches are. See, you see
Exactly.
and who they are and where they are. I didn't know I had a close relative here in San Diego until I did this and did that map.
That
And,
person you was being mean to, you might go back and be nice now, huh?
and then I found out who it was,
Yeah,
and
isn't that
I
something?
contacted her and built a relationship with her and her family up in Omaha, Nebraska. So,
Wow.
a younger one who had young, some of our young kids they have their own challenges and things like that, and so
Right, of
you can only
course.
go so far with them, you know, to
Right.
verify, yeah, we're relatives, but like when you start getting them second and third cousins, and you barely know your first cousins.
Yeah, and
Ain't that the truth?
some, and some of them situations you may not want to be involved in anyway. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's
okay.
what I said.
It's like, well, maybe I
I,
don't want to know you.
I got the experience. I got the experience to some stories on that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Wow.
So that DNA can work for you. It can work.
Yeah, buddy. He's like, I don't know if I want to do this or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a blessing. Like I've gotten
Yeah,
a whole much so much positive from it than negative.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So just by talking, you see, we were able to open up some more programs and show you some.
Right, right,
And,
right.
and Denise and myself, we have some of the similar programs, our
Hmm.
research, uh, experience, and that's great.
Right.
We can share with each other. That means so much to me.
Right. And
Hmm.
and I'm learning the terms and I'm learning. I mean, I just go over and listen and listen and listen, and it's starting to all connect and make a lot of more sense to me now, And like you said, you have your own little personal situation going on. Sometimes it's like, okay, I hear it, but I can't get off into it right now, but I do hear it. And then when you come back, this sort of all comes back, you put it together. I've got notes and different things. And like I said, I've been waiting to get all my equipment lined up. And it just because this is the first time I did it on my laptop. So now I see where all the stuff is going. I was getting lost for a minute. Oh, okay, no, it's on to the side. Oh, this is over here.
It
And it
looks pretty
works
good
out much
in the
better.
laptop, doesn't it? Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I love it. It's a larger screen and you're not trying to see everything in one little spot. And I already have vision problems anyway.
Yeah,
So
and if they're helping you with these different services, these different programs, let's just talk about it because I can give you the list, the name of all of them. To make
right, right,
incremental research. I see, hey, use these different gifts that God has given you,
right,
and these
right.
programs we have them. Use them.
Exactly.
Yeah, take advantage of
Exactly. I never knew 10 years ago that I would be doing this now. I just started going to those here at the Mormon church. They did in the summer, they would do a seminar. Uh, I did for about 2 or 3 years. That's why I got started. And the tree that I had, I just started going in there doing it on my own. And I printed out a lot of different things, not knowing that I would come back to this 10 years later
Yeah,
and really having tools to, all some of that labor that I went. That's why I understand about the names. I mean, just a lot of things. It's a guide, but I went through, I mean, I spent hours just going through it and I just was exciting. So I'm going to go through that same process, but I'll have a lot of more tools, a lot of more help, and just numbers of different ones I can call and ask questions, text questions too. So
Hmm.
it's great. It's great.
and
And I'm looking forward.
and we uh, uh, we have a Latter Day Saints family history library in San Diego, and
Uh-huh.
and the genealogy group that I'm a member of here, San Diego African American Genealogy Research Group, we had
Uh-huh.
meetings at that
Mm-hmm.
library, and
Mm-hmm.
they're very supportive.
Oh yeah,
And
they'll help you. We go in there, you go into their library because they did they had a section where we had the little seminar, but you can go into their library and they'll get in there with you, they'll answer questions, they'll show you stuff. And in fact, we've got some Latter-day Saints uh in our family, so I don't know how we got a little bit of everybody in our family.
well, see,
So
it's important for us to collaborate and work with
hmm
whoever has the information.
exactly. Exactly.
Education can't be taken away from you, you know.
Exactly.
And so go where go where you get the information that you need to accomplish your goal.
It is what it
Mhm.
is. That's all it is.
And
Mhm.
and you find that they are generous, kind,
Hmm.
and they have the DNA medicine that you need.
Hmm. Hmm.
They got it there. They have it at that
To keep
Latter
them
Day
records.
Saints
They
library. Yeah,
kept them records. Right.
you can convert your old videos, uh,
Hmm.
pictures. They
Yeah,
have
they taught all that in the seminar. How
yeah,
to
they do
how to
all that,
store your pictures, how to do all these different things.
and they have the
So
facilities
informative
there. And you can
to do
also
that. Uh-huh.
you can go in and you can have a video of yourself, your history, and they have
Wow.
videos, and you can tell your story, and they'll video you and have it a digital record of what your family
Okay.
history is. They have a studio.
Okay.
They have a studio there.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's
Well,
awesome.
that sure is. I intend
You
to
can,
utilize, all those things
yeah,
in my
you can
retirement.
create some YouTube videos, Jerry.
Yeah, well, um,
Create your videos and put them out there on YouTube for your family.
I already do.
Oh, do you?
I have a
Okay.
platform. Yeah, mine is Moss Genealogy Research Group. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been on there for 5 or 6 years.
I didn't
Mm,
know that.
It's called Moss Genealogy. No, Moss Gildon Genealogy Research Group.
Okay. I'll have to look for
mhm.
it.
And all my meetings are after the meetings. They're recorded and they're uploaded on my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's called Moss
Excuse,
Genealogy Research.
excuse us.
I'm telling you now, I know not to talk so much.
Yeah, we there.
Hey,
Yeah,
we're dealing with big time folks here.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
You take a look.
But so
And,
humble,
and,
so
and,
humble. You would never know it by you listening to it. You don't go around bragging about all this stuff.
and
So
Uh-uh.
and you'll see yourselves on there. Some of our
oh
meetings,
my goodness.
pictures show right up.
That's what I said. I'm gonna learn. I'm not gonna talk so much next time.
Good. We got you.
Oh, that's right, because you record it. Yeah, but no, that's good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And, and,
I
and the other thing, like I said, is we go over all these different topics in this format. As you notice, we go over a lot of educational
Yes,
in this few hours. And what happens is some people are able to attend, some aren't. But what they
right,
do, they get the video from the YouTube
right,
recording, and then that's when they get the information. They go over our meetings, and they get
right,
information that way where they can slow it down, they can stop, or
right,
get the flavor of our meetings and know about our culture, and then they make a decision. I'm going to join, or I'll be in this time, or I'll be in that time, or I I I know that I'm going to be getting the information, and I can follow it then. So
Yeah.
our words are retained; they're not lost.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go. The sun is setting, and I'm gonna have to take my four-legged baby out before
Well,
nightfall.
let's just shut it down. And any closing
Okay.
words, Denise? Closing words for today?
No, just best of luck, Clarice, with your research.
Thank
And
you. I appreciate it.
yeah, as usual, I guess I'm like Jerry. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
I will certainly do that. I will
Yeah.
certainly do that.
Thanks once again, Jerry, for uh, your information and your assistance and sharing and caring. And
Amen.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Clarice. Closing comments.
And likewise, I'm so glad that my cousin got on the show. I'll probably have her, if would it's okay if I give her your number to call you?
Please, please.
Uh, so you can get, yeah, she says she got off. So
That's
uh,
fine. We'll get.
yeah,
I,
and I'll
I,
just give her the number to call. And then Marvell said it may not be today, because he had a real busy day and he was just kind of out of it, that he will call you. He has his kid. So I told him to go in and give you a call as soon as possible so he
okay.
can get that going.
Well,
And
enjoy your days.
likewise.
And
And thank you
thank you
for
for
all you do,
participating.
Jerry.
It's all good. It's all God.
Love your
All right.
spirit. Love
Thank
your
you.
spirit. All right.
Peace.
Enjoy. Go walk that pooch.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Where do you live at, Denise?
I'm in Pickerington, Ohio.
Ohio. Okay. Yeah, that's where
Hmm.
my friend Marvell is from. Well, Ohio.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. All
What
right.
what part?
I think, well, he lives, I think it's from Columbus, I believe that's where, or something
Well,
nearby.
yeah, that's right next door. I'm southeast of Columbus.
Lexus.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
Mr. San Diego, enjoy, and I'll may talk to you before then, but if not, we'll see you the following
Okay.
first Sunday.